It was a cold Sunday morning, November 13th, 2022. In the small town of Moscow, Idaho, the sun began to rise over a quiet college neighborhood. Most people were still asleep, but in one house, something unspeakable had already happened. Inside that house were 4 students, and all 4 were dead. Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogan, Zana Kernodle, Ethan Chapin. Young, vibrant, full of life. They weren't strangers. They were friends, roommates. Kaylee and Madison had been best friends since childhood. Zana and Ethan were in a relationship. Their social media pages were full of smiling pictures, parties, and friendship. That weekend, everything seemed normal, or so it seemed. Saturday night, November 12th, Kaylee and Madison went to a bar. Zana and Ethan attended a party at a fraternity house. They returned home between 1:45 and 2 a.m. Surveillance cameras confirmed it. They even stopped at a food truck, laughing, completely unaware of what was coming. At 2 a.m., all was quiet. By 4 a.m., that house had become a crime scene. No one heard anything. No screams, no cries, no calls to 911, until much later. At 11:58 a.m., a call was made to 911. A roommate had found one of the victims unconscious. When police arrived, they weren't prepared for what they found. 4 murdered students. Brutal. Shocking. But there was one strange detail. 2 roommates were left unharmed. They claimed they heard nothing, but later, one of them admitted to seeing a masked man walking through the house and leaving. She locked her door and never called for help. There were no signs of forced entry. The murder weapon was missing, but left behind a single clue, a knife sheath, found on the bed next to one of the victims. Inside that sheath was DNA. Police began to follow the trail. A white Hyundai Elantra was seen near the house multiple times. Surveillance caught it circling the block between 3:30 and 4:20 a.m., and then it vanished. By late December, the FBI had a suspect. Bryan Kohberger, a 28-year-old PhD student, studying criminology at a nearby university. He drove a white Elantra. He owned a knife similar to the missing one, and his phone pinged near the house, not once, not twice, but 12 times before the night of the murders. Still, there was no clear motive, no connection to the victims, no previous criminal history. Was he just in the wrong place? Or something more sinister? The internet exploded. Was the roommate lying? Why did she wait 8 hours to call police? Was this a targeted attack or a random act of horror? Bryan Kohberger's name flooded YouTube, Reddit, TikTok. People speculated everything, from stalking to revenge to mistaken identity, but no one had answers. Kohberger was arrested at his parents' house in Pennsylvania. He waived extradition, and when asked in court, he simply said, "I have no answer now." Prosecutors claimed the DNA matched the knife sheath. The defense argued the evidence was weak and circumstantial. As of today, the trial is still ongoing, and the truth remains uncertain. Why were only 4 killed? Why did the dog survive? Why were the 2 roommates left unharmed? Was it planned or spontaneous? Did the killer act alone? Why was the door unlocked? And what if the killer was never really alone? The house was eventually demolished, but the memory lives on. The pain, the fear, the mystery. Even now, in 2025, the questions remain. Who did this? Why? And what happened that night? If this story gave you chills, subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell icon, because the truth is often hidden in the shadows.